Alright, what is up YouTube? It's Dizzy here, and today we got a couple games, two very good sets with Cofagrigus, Scrafty, and Talonflame. And as you've seen in the YouTube shorts, we demolished some teams with this, or a team with this. But we lead a Cofagrigus into the Trevenant. We switch in. You guys seen this in the YouTube shorts. It's part of one of them 10 sets. We went 9 and 10 with this team. So if you're sitting in the 2200 ELO range, there you go. Here's a pretty good team for you. IVs don't really matter. It's just pretty much on how you play. You know what I'm saying? So he goes for a Poison Fang, and I don't shield because I know it's a Poison Fang. And either way, an Earth Power wouldn't have KO'd for him right there. So I do shield the second Poison Fang because I am already defense dropped, and I switch in the Scrafty to try and farm down, and he switches into the Lantern, as you can see. And he goes for a Surf. And we let it through, we farm with the 2 power-up punches we throw on the 2, which, if I'm not mistaken, was an alignment, yep. So CMP tied, and we had it first. I do shield here because I do need a little bit extra HP to try and steal those shields before I come in with Kofa. So we steal one shield, and then here's the second shield. I don't know why he shielded this, but I was 3 pups boosted. So we're going to let Scrafty fall because we kind of have to anyways because we have no shields. And in come Cofagrigus, we count down the sparks and throw on 5 with his spark. And boom. And that allows us to get to the second charge move against this Needle Queen, which makes it very good play. So into the second match, and we were up against Dark Magician. And he leads Needle Queen into Cofagrigus. And if you are not necessarily knowing how to play this, just watch because you'll see. Because if I'm not mistaken, he throws an Earth Power right here. Yeah, because he didn't go for the bait. So we hit 1, and you pretty much just want to learn perfect timing. And when we hit that Shadow Ball, and then we can just farm down. And we are left with little HP, but he comes in with an Alolan Marowak, and we throw the Dark Pulse after 2 hits, so he doesn't get any extra farming. And then we switch into Scrafty. Now, personally, I would have switched out of this fight, but maybe he's also weak to Scrafty in the back. So, what's usually weak to Scrafty? Steel types, rock types, ghost, and he's staying in with his ghost. And I throw the foul play and he shields it, so that means he has 2 shields down. And he comes in with a Ferrothorn. And this game is going to be a GG's just because we still have Talonflame sitting in wait. You know what I'm saying? So either way, if I didn't shield here, I could have dropped off Scrafty and still have came in with Talonflame and sweeped. Because Talonflame is 1 hit off the Brave Bird, gets the Brave Bird, and Brave Bird does kill from this range. So that is what happens. We let the Brave Bird through, and we hit some lag right here, but it does KO, and we are on to the third match, and we are up against Low Saint, and he starts off with a Politoed. Now, I'm not very sure how this matchup plays out. I recorded these a couple days ago, but he hits you with a Weather Ball. Always go for the 1 right after they attack, just so you know that your alignment is right and that you're not missing out on those extra moves. Because you want to keep those moves and that energy aligned with their attacks. See, look. And then these counters are just hitting for big boy damage after that power-up punch. Like, he's flying type, so it's neutral. This foul play does do a lot and almost sends him to the grave. So he does have to throw his energy, and I'm not going to shield. And then if I'm not mistaken, I come back out with Cofagrigus and just farm down. And I am sitting at a 2 shield advantage, so I do shield up this Weather Ball. I go for 1, throw the Shadow Ball. And then, he shields, which is surprising, because he probably could have just saved that shield for the Pokemon in the back. But I also did not want Talonflame to meet that Politoed, you know what I'm saying? So this way, if I throw out the Politoed, if I throw out my Talonflame, I can now sack swap my Talonflame from getting the Brave Bird off first, and then boom, comes in Cofagrigus, I hit him with that farm down, and I just throw the Shadow Ball. But he does CMP tie and win, but it is not enough to KO. I'm stuck at 1 HP. Now, that is a GG's. He should have won that, in my opinion. But thanks to Poke Gods, I guess I won. But we're on the next match, and he starts off with a Alolan Ninetales. So what we do is we farm up to the 7 and let him throw the Weather Ball. And if I'm not mistaken, we do switch out here because that Shadow Ball does big boy damage. Actually, no, we farmed down. We farmed down. I thought this was a different game, which you'll see later in the video. But he comes in, we throw 1 because he's giant energy, and then we throw the Shadow Ball. So we are going to sack Cofagrigus just because he's now down to 1.5 Pokemon, but still has the 2 shields, So we don't have to actually necessarily shield anything on Scrafty from that Swampert. So we come in, we farm up a little bit, we throw some power-up punches, we throw some foul plays. That foul play went through just because the fact that he was thinking that I was going to bait with a power-up punch, but I wasn't going to either way, so in all reality, it doesn't matter. And he still kept his 1 shield. We still kept my shield all the way until the end. We hugged it until it was time to KO that Swampert. But into the next match, and we got a Cofagrigus lead it into Bronzong. Bronzong, this is not a favorable matchup for him, if I'm not mistaken. Just because he's psychic, but Steel does make it neutral somewhat. It makes it do a little bit less damage. But we go for the Dark Pulse here, which does KO. And he comes in with a Shadow Swampert, and we throw the Shadow Ball. Now, he's definitely going to let this through, which is completely fine with me. And we catch the Hydro Cannon on the Scrafty, because you want to make sure that you preserve a little bit HP on certain Pokemon so that you have a chance in the bag. You know what I'm saying? So if we let the Hydro Cannon go through, it does get me to yellow, and he's not going to end up shooting Scrafty or his Swampert again. And we just pretty much sack swap, and we come back into Cofagrigus, and he comes in with Rapidash. So I do throw this Dark Pulse after a little bit of farm up. He shields. We get to the other Dark Pulse. We throw it. And then what I'm pretty sure we do is we come in with Talonflame and just catch. Also farm him down. And then by the time that Swampert comes in, if I'm not mistaken, we do throw that Flame Charge, which does KO. And that was pretty much the only win condition, was sacking the Cofagrigus and letting the Talonflame come in. But here, as you can see, I started the recording a little bit late, but this is just the first Pokemon, and it is a Meganium, and he switches into an Azu, so we throw the Shadow Ball, which does hit, and then we farm up to the second one, a little bit over, just so if we switch out, and we do have to catch an attack, that we make sure that that attack kills. I'm not sure what I do here. I do let it go. I come in with a Talonflame because this will force their Meganium to come out later in the game instead of earlier. And I try and pull a shield here, which I probably should have just went for the Brave Bird. But he does let it through, which is just a Flame Charge. So let's see. We farm up to almost two Flame Charges. We send the first one, and then we switch out to Scrafty. He attacks once and then throws the move. And it is a Shadow Bone, which does absolutely nothing just because of the fact that we are Dark types. But this Foul Play should do quite a bit of damage because he no-shields it. I shield up the Frenzy Plant. And if I'm not mistaken, we just go for a farm down right here. So we did just farm down the Meganium, and he quits the game. He tops left. Okay, so we're into the next match, and it's an Alolan Ninetales Shiny led into Cofagrigus. And this just proves how much people want to see you fail, because there are so many Charmers in Go Battle League. It's so annoying. And, like, look at this. He just comes out with Yazoo. So I shield to potentially get a shield back, but I'm not sure I do. And see, so I go for the second Flame Charge, but we do get some lag. Like, Go Battle League is just so laggy. But we go for the second Flame Charge to pull the potential shield, and then we let the Talonflame drop. And then once the Talonflame drops, if I'm not mistaken, we come back in with Cofagrigus, and we do get to that Shadow Ball, because we do shield here. I can't remember if this was a winning matchup or a losing matchup, but in comes the A9, and he does hit a Weather Ball, which puts us very, very low. So he's running Double Fairy, so that is what makes me lose, is this match right here. But I just want to say, GG's. Thanks for playing, guys. Hope you liked the video. Please do like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.